torch drifts on an equipment line. Report Blue 5, minor suit damage and integrity good. The after-action report draws an unclear picture. The instrument package was building up some kind of energy discharge, only to be interrupted when your salvage team cut off main power. Damage was minimal. Nonetheless, you consider that the Galatia Academy could have given some, or indeed any, warning of this possibility. You make a note to bring up the matter of a hazard bonus with academician Sebastian. That's right. You didn't warn us, you jerks. Let's go check out what's going on at World Mill. Nothing is going on at World Mill. Okay, Corvetchicor then. Epiphany has grown. Fantastic. Alright. Let's get out of here and go to the next one then. Alright. Nothing within sensor range. So let's go around in the big circle and see what we can grab. Abundant deposits, not too bad. Okay, Union. Where are we going? Are we going to bust this place wide open? That would make certain companies in the US extremely happy. Especially one that has Star in its name. Those douchebags. And no, I'm not talking about Starsector. I'm talking about a brand of coffee that really, really, really hates unions. Okay, so let's go. Didn't like the whole debacle with Blizzard Entertainment end up with there now being unions in the gaming industry? Like, haven't people taken a hard look at that and said that they need unions? Didn't that happen recently? I think it did. Which is fantastic, by the way. The gaming industry has needed unions for a long ass time. And it's about friggin' time they start getting them. Oof. Of course, there is an aspect of that. Unions mean the cost of things go up. So what I want you to envision, and we're already starting to see this in a lot of gaming, simply because it's hard to pay off those loans with how the gaming industry typically works. So let me very quickly explain how the gaming industry tends to function. So you have, so there's really, what's this? A wrecker, huh? So there's really a few different types of, there are a handful of actors in the gaming industry. You have your producers, your producer companies. You then have your developers. So you have the are they called producers? Publishers. That's the term. So you have your publishers, and they're the ones who bankroll a game to be made. Without the publisher, there is usually no game. You then have the developers who develop the game. And then finally, you have the usually a PR team or something that helps to push the game. And these people all tend to do a pretty good job at what they do, and in a very broad strokes way, this is the gaming industry. The real problem here, well, I guess you have another group, which is the, which would be the consumer. So, you. So, if you like a game, buy it. That tends to be how things go. If you like it, buy it. If you... I mean, that's really it. If you like it, buy the game. Like, buy copies of the game, give it away to people, that kind of thing. If you don't like a game, don't buy it. Like, you will end up... Like, that game will most likely eventually die out. If enough people stop buying it, they will stop making it. That is just the nature of the beast there. So, how does this work? How does this actually work? You have the developers who make the game. You have the publishers who effectively pay for the game. You have the consumers that buy the game. And if any of these parties don't follow through with, well, it's not really a promise, but so the publisher, they basically give the developer a loan. And that loan basically says, you have to pay us back, and you owe us, you know, a certain amount in addition to this. It's not necessarily interest, it's like a royalty on every single copy once the full loan has been paid back. So, what ends up happening at this point is your developer makes the game, sells the game, and hopes, prays that they can... Okay, we hit something up here. And prays that they can pay off their loan to the publisher, because if they don't, there will be hell to pay. Like, the publisher can essentially just buy their company from them if they don't, if they fail to meet those sales figures. So, as you can probably imagine... Oh, I see we need to go Glass Connie, huh? So, as you can probably imagine, when you have games that are not successful, a company tends to die. Like, that just tends to be how it goes, unfortunately. Hello, second viewer, how are you? So yeah, you have a company, it's not successful, tends to die. Just how it goes. You have so what ends up happening overall? You start to see things. First off, let's make this a military base. That's good. Let's make this a battle station. This is where we're getting our food from. So, publisher loans money to developer to produce game. Sounds good. Developer makes game and projects a certain number of sales. Well, the projected sales is really what sets the price for the game, then. If they project that a game will sell 1 million copies, but they need to make, like, but their loan was for, say, $100 million, well, they still need enough money to pay all the royalties, they need to pay off the loan, they need to pay off the royalty. Well, they need to pay off the loan in addition to the royalties. They need to pay off every single contractor that has worked with them that's going to get a percentage. They need to ensure that they will have enough money after everything to still pay their bills until they can get another game going. So there's Pentalos. So there's a whole lot that goes into this. Like a ton that goes into this. And what ends up happening is that that's why we start seeing things where, say, we have AAA games costing $70, costing 70 USD instead of the established, say, 50 or 60 USD. $50, $60. You start seeing that cost going up, and a lot of people don't like it. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do if you're a developer. Like, there's this thing about any kind of product being produced, and it's most easily seen with gasoline companies, with petroleum companies, if you will. Petrol companies, if you live outside the US, it's usually called petrol out there. And that is, the cost is always passed on to the consumer. Not sometimes, not most of the time, always. In America, when an administration gets in, they add a $1 tax onto fuel. Well, that dollar tax doesn't just, the fuel companies don't eat that. They don't say, okay, well, we'll just, pay, for people to be able to get this fuel from us. No, like, fuel is almost always sold right at cost. You ever wonder why gasoline companies, why they almost always have a store connected to their fuel station? It's because the store is what makes them money. When I worked at a gas station for a little bit in college, we had a store attached to the college itself. We had a store attached to the gas station, the petrol station. And the reality is, they cared more about sales and theft of that convenience store that was attached than they did about the fuel. Like, the fuel didn't matter. If we were selling the fuel for, X, that's probably because it cost X to make the fuel, to transport the fuel to that station, maintain all the equipment on that fuel that's required to pump it and everything. Maintain everything so that the station is running at a net non-profit, essentially. Would cost, say, would cost, I don't know, something. It would cost some amount. Okay, so you're size 6 now. That's good. Okay, so which of these is making us tons of money? Food's the most money. Yeah, food is the most profitable, followed by drugs. Domestic goods and luxury goods are barely worth anything. We're getting transplutonic and organics. Those are both worth a lot. It will probably be worth it to not put commerce on this. But if I were to put commerce on it, I would probably just get rid of the high command, honestly, and do something else. So, the cost of production is almost always passed on to the consumer, and that's why you're starting to see more stuff where video games are going to start costing you like 70 grand for a AAA title. That's actually why there are so many different editions of games. If you ever wondered that, like, why is there the collector's edition? Why is there the ultra big dick edition? Like what are these things? Like, why do these things exist? Why do they come out with like 5 different versions, and one's $50, one is $70, one is like $100, and then another one is like $200? Like, why? And the answer is, all that money goes straight to the developer. Like, when it's, well, that money is used to pay off that loan that they got from the publisher. But any DLC, which is extremely popular, that is paid to the developer. Like, the publisher usually doesn't pay for the developer to make DLCs. They usually pay just for the base game. And they get their loan back. So, but there are times where you're starting to see a lot more scenarios where the publishers are paying for DLCs because stuff is being cut out of the game to then introduce as DLC. So, yeah, it's kind of a lot of ways is a crappy system, but it is what it is. Oh, we have a neutron star. That probably is spraying debris. No, it doesn't have anything. Doesn't have any jets. Nice. It does. It has jets. We're not going to get to that side. Okay, E-burn to whatever that is. So we can get over there and search that one. More ruins, huh? So the mad lad just decided that living in a system with a pulsar was a good idea. With a neutron star was a great idea. Neutron stars are super scary in reality, by the way. Super scary. Ooh, research station. I like it. You have a blueprint I want. As it turns out, you do. You have one of the two that I want. Fantastic. Yeah, that's AAA gaming. There are other aspects that go into things. DLCs are big. Like the Oblivion Horse that started all of this crap off was massive. Just think about it. Just think about it for a hot second. You got this whole system where you essentially make something for practically nothing, right? Then you sell it for like $1, and people buy it. For some reason, people buy this horse armor. It has no tangible benefit to them whatsoever, and it's kind of just a reskin of something that you're not able to really get in game. So, a reskin. Let's explore the ruins. Let's answer the hail. Hello. Trading food for supplies. Give us supplies in exchange for food. No, we don't need that. Alright. We don't need the Wayfarer. If anything, we actually need supplies. Let's go over here. Seems to be stuff over here. Okay, let's go here. Let's also make sure that we learn this Afflictor blueprints. Now that we have that, Doctrine and blueprints. So we actually don't want to use Dooms. We want to use Afflictors. Now for weapons, we want to be using Antimatter Blasters and Burst PD. We want to be using Reapers and Dulatropos. Let's everything. That could go on a Reaper. We want as many Reapers as possible. We want more ships, that's super important. We want them to be Afflictors. And so let's see what they're doing. Antimatter Blasters. Okay, well that's good. They're using antimatter blasters. We have some things that are, you know, they were Like, this afflictor was dropped on its head too many times. Let's see, one light mortar. Yeah, this one was not only dropped on its head, like its parent like picked it up by the ankles and like slammed it on the ground a couple of times. But you know, hey, you know, it kind of works. You will. But okay, that works. So ridiculous. I love it. Okay, so yeah, so we have a lot of afflictors. We have claws. Those are nice, but the afflictors, their main problem is not going to be killing the enemy. The main problem we will be dealing with yeah, because it's a that it has to use their special versions. Ozen has joined us, has he? Hello, Ozen. Okay, so Swayers. Let's go over here. So yeah, you have sometimes you have stuff that's just completely useless that, you know, gains value. A lot of things in the world are actually completely friggin' useless from a practical standpoint. But that doesn't matter. What really matters is how much people think something is worth. What is the speculation? What is the speculated value of something? If the speculated value is very high, then it doesn't matter if it's actually kind of useless. It doesn't matter if it's actually kind of devoid of value. What matters is that someone will pay a lot of money for it. Someone will pay a lot of money, then that works. Oh yeah, we should probably go to custom production. Ship hulls, phase ships, and make like as many of these as we possibly can. Then we should go over to weapons. I want small. Make as many of those as we can. Make as many of those as we can. To missiles. And as many of those as we can. Okay. That should be fine. Let's get out of here and let's make our way over to Wanda. To Wakanda we go. Okay, Kanta's den has grain. That's good. Red Wanda. Okay, cool. So we have that done now. Calcedon. You got those things going. Sounds good. Goulon. You just start making enough money. Battle station. Spaceport. Refining. Why are you actually losing money? Ridiculous. Okay, let's make this a Star Fortress. Okay, well, there's nothing out here at Wakanda. So, let's head over to Averis. Cool. We have an equipment cache over here. That's nice. Just stuff that we already have. We are pretty low on resources, so we are going to have to make our way back relatively soon. Hello, Trick. Hello, second viewer. Welcome to the stream. Is that it? No, there is this place. What are you? Oh, goody. Alright, you dirty hivers. What do you got? And we have Bugman. There are angry people in suits. That works for me. Let's go to the imp. And alright, I think that's everything. Let's head back to Ogma. That's over in Hisversil. And yeah, we can go and glass people if we need to. That is Ema. Let's go to Hisversil. Opa, there we go. Now, what are the colony threats? Hybrids are going after Maxios. That's fine. We should be able to get home, get our huge horde of afflictors. Oh yeah. I love how our AI are organizing raids of their own. That's nice. I don't know specifically what makes them do that, but I like it. It means that eventually they will start colonizing on their own, potentially, and doing all kinds of fun things. Let's see. Yeah, almost everything is profitable, so that's nice. And what about that? Okay, so 8 of the like 20 afflictors were made, which is nice. The only problem is that eventually we are going to get to the point that eventually we're going to get to the point where something. Okay, well, let's go. So we have Chadaxi. Let's go to Fleet Log. How are we looking? We're at 161 of 222, which is nice. Yeah, eventually we'll get to where we just have loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of afflictors. We'll have eventually hundreds of afflictors. Not hundreds, but like 50. Most likely. But let's drop that off. Let's drop all these things. And that is going to work great, I think. Okay, so ground defenses, heavy batteries, increases our colony's defenses. That requires way too many volatiles to make it useful. We have a corrupted nanoforge. And hey, you know, if you come in the chat and then you just don't talk or anything, and then you leave, like, I can't help that. If you're gonna show up and then just like not even interact whatsoever and then just leave, like, okay, well, bye. It's a stream. Stream chat is in the video. You can say hello, like we can chat. These are possibilities. Oh, good. We could also buy lots of afflictors because we can make them. Nice. Okay. So yeah, we need to get all these guys ready, dump lots of story points into them because you kind of need that with the phase fleets. It's those three. Okay, cool. So we have those now. That works. We can always get more. So we are at Igma. We already have a corrupted nano forge on there. This is essentially our capital, so we're going to install that there just to give ourselves extra defenses. And let's drop off lots of these. Very nice. Let's take a lot of our cores. Let's go back to managing this. So, high command costs us the most. Let's put a beta core in it then. What is the next costly? Next most costly? Orbital works. Alright then, orbital works. You get one of those. Commerce. I don't think this is actually going to do anything. Yeah. It won't do anything. Okay, cool. So we have all of those. So, you know, we're making a little bit more money. Let's go to Aleda. Let's go and just put one of those into everything. That should work fine. Make Aleda a little bit more profitable. We have Aishibreas. We've got Killer. So, who makes lots of fuel? Fuel production. I think Ogva also does fuel production, right? It does. Okay. Let's go to Ogma again. And I'm going to slap an alpha core into fuel. Yeah, that's what I think we're going to do. Increase unit production, so we actually meet demands. Increases colony income, which would be nice. Increases combat effectiveness. Increases fleet size. That reduces production of those by 1. Okay, increased accessibility. So yeah, I mean, we could make a super colony. Greatly increases stockpiles. So if we were to put that there and then this one there, we go up to a lot of money. And if we increase accessibility, then yeah, I believe that equates to like money outright. Okay, sounds good. Where are all the costs of things? High command is the most expensive thing. Orbital works is next. Fuel production. Star Fortress is after that. Let's just throw the beta core on there so we can squeeze as much money out of this colony as possible. Okay, well we have our crazy super profitable colony then, where all of our stuff is going. We are gonna sit on that basically to make money. We might as well go over to Coulon and just put our cores on that. Okay, so colony threats. They're gonna go bombard Maxios pretty soon, or they're gonna try. Okay, so expenses. Orbital Works military base. Sounds good, and now we can just reduce demands there. If that works. Quilon is still growing. And okay, sounds good. So we have 14 days until they show up to try and try and grab Ogma. They're gonna get annihilated most likely. What? Okay, we have a few days left. Let's go to custom production. Let's just put more orders in for that. And we're just gonna preemptively head over to Ogma. Fantastic. Oh, we have one more, I guess. Guess that works. Alright then. We will need to go take out the hivers, or at least try to help take out the hivers. Okay, we got that. Got all these. We can learn that. Okay, sounds good. We can get some fuel, so we are okay right now, at least. Looks like the hedge float. It looks like the hedge fund millionaire showed up. Oh? Hello, random dudes. Let's join the battle. I just want to see, like, how well these guys do. Yeah, let's deploy the ziggurat. just so we can kill stuff. And yeah, we'll see how well they tend to fly these. They're using a different build than I usually do, but their build sort of rhymes with mine. So that works. They aren't necessarily doing what I would do. You know, sending them around to the back to smack into the back of the enemy line. But you know, they're doing what they can. We also just have some of their ships as well. Have some of their fighter bombers and all that good stuff. You know, at least they have some things. Okay, that's dead. I want those to flock over there so they can take out a lot more of these fighters. It sounds good so far. They seem to be doing an okay job. Seems good enough so far. Okay, this guy. I mean, we're overextended, but at the same time, yeah, there's this guy as well. It's currently running, which is great for him. Let's stop him from moving, I guess. Let's go deal with you. As our allies sort of, you know, do their own thing, I guess. Oh man, that lag. Okay. So we need to vent and then get out of here. Okay, let's go. I mean, they're sort of doing stuff in the back line, which is nice, but it's not quite enough. It's not quite where it needs to be. But let's go ahead and send in... Well, we don't need to necessarily even send anything in. They're sort of doing decently-ish. Plus, we could always just grab more of their ships. Like after the battle is over, we can grab a bunch of other afflictors. Alright, everyone. Let's full assault and kill them. But yeah, we also need a lot of shades, so we can at least deal with the fighter spam. let's jump into this one. Oh man, it feels so much nicer to be in a frigate. Don't get me wrong, the ziggurat's nice, but it's very slow. What I would like to see is some sort of mod that makes it so that phase ships can go back into peace phase sooner. So, like, the main strength of the ziggurat is that, aside from some things, one of its primary strengths is that it is able to go into peace phase and come out of peace phase extremely fast. Okay, well, it's just us. It's just us. Okay, so let's jump into the other ones. Man, this Hyper ship just has... What's up? We're using an entire phase fleet. Like, for a little bit before I went to deployment points, basically we were like messing around with carriers, but we're doing a full phase fleet. The only exception is tugs, just so we can get up to size 8. I don't know how much longer we'll keep playing this. The hybrids are fucking broken, to put it bluntly. At least against spaceships. But the thing is, like, using a phase fleet, you're kind of restricted to... Oh, really? Let me put it this way. As a player, phase ships are among the most fun you will have, I think. You know that whole problem that you have where... Now, I don't know about you, but for me, like, playing with, like, cruisers, especially capital ships, is just so boring. Like, I cannot stand it. It is the most boring crap I've ever done in this entire game. It is use stuff like he's almost dead. Using stuff like onslaughts is insufferably boring. I don't get how people play with them. But using phase ships, it was like, I remember back in the day, I was almost done with Starsector. And then I decided to do a playthrough that was jokingly called Big Ship Energy, and then like Big Dick Energy. And that kind of revitalized Starsector for me. And so I really liked flying phase ships. Of course, as we know, the nerf that came to phase ships in this version. Basically, how phase ships work is do not let the AI fly anything larger than a phase frigate. If you give the AI a Harbinger, it will get destroyed. If you give the AI a Doom, it will not use it properly at all. If you let the AI fly the Ziggurat, it will just get it destroyed. For the most part. That's kind of just how that goes. Are they retreating? No. So what that means is if you're going to do a phase fleet, you have to basically just spam out phase frigates. So what I recommend you do in that case is go with the fleet size by deployment points, and allow that to, and just, you know, have like 30 afflictors and 30 shades, and there you go, that's your fleet. So, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. Let's see. It'd really be nice if these, like, dudes would actually do their jobs and, like, come in and help actually win this fight, instead of just probably pussyfooting around out there. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played with them. I haven't played with a lot of modded factions. Like, having the hivers enabled has made me incredibly skeptical of any, like, playing with any modded faction. Like, the Reuters seemed okay. The, oh man, they're so slow. They are so slow. Like, they can't turn, they can't dogfight really at all. They can't do anything. Like, it's just, it's the worst. It is the absolute worst. I cannot stand flying them at all. Like, I just can't stand flying them. And the ones, I mean, it's just like, I can't stand it. The most I can stand are legions, and that's because they're carriers. So the fighters take care of everything. Right? Yeah. So, like, at least with, like, 14th Battle Fleet legions, the fighters kill everything that is smaller than, say, a cruiser or a capital. So the legions can just focus on going and beating the crap out of enemy capitals. While the medley setup that I have with those, that focuses on killing everything that is smaller than a cruiser. Okay, well, we're just gonna leave. Okay, sounds good, I guess. Okay, so you know what? Fuck this. I'm done. Like, I cannot stand this shit. I'm not gonna wait like 4 months just to get stuff. I'm not gonna do this anymore. Like, this is like part 50. I'm just not gonna fucking bother anymore. Alright, let's go over and get all this stuff done so we can actually do things. I'm at that point in playing like a game with Starsector where it's like, I don't want to play Starsector anymore. I'm at that point of playing a game of Starsector where I don't want to play Starsector, which is always pretty fun. Because it's just like, you know what people want to see. But it's just like, if you're doing stuff with phase ships, like, good fucking luck. Damn it. Like, good luck. The downside of phase ships is that you have to... Wait, can I just max these out and get rid of all my points that way? No. Well, I might be able to. What random crap can I throw on here? Okay, good enough. So the downside of phase ships is... Especially if you're doing phase ships, my friend. If you're doing phase ships and you lose an engagement, say goodbye to all of those phase ships. Because again, you're restricted to really phase frigates, because they don't have a difference between... Let me put it this way. What absolutely needs to happen with phase ships to make them anyway good, if they're above a frigate, is there needs to be one AI for phase frigates. Probably it's the one that they're using with some modifications. But then you need a different AI, a completely different fucking AI for Harbingers and Dooms and the Ziggurat. Because if you do not, these two ships will fly right up to an enemy ship and try to go through them. They will get to a certain amount of flux, which makes them slow down too much, and then they'll start backing up. Yeah, and then they'll start trying to back up, but they'll do this thing where their AI was written during a time when this game, when phase ships in this game moved at full speed all the time in phase space. Well, now they slow down to like 50% or like 75% speed. It's stupid. So now they'll go up there, they'll get to like right up near the enemy. They won't be able to go through the enemy because now there's resistance when you're at higher phase level, when you're at higher hard flux levels with one of these ships. And then they'll start trying to back out. But they go in at speed 100 and now they're trying to back away from an enemy ship at speed 25, to give an example. And it's just like, okay, so then they max out they max out their flux, they come out, they don't shoot or anything because it costs a lot to go into P-space. So they come out of P-space just long enough to maybe shoot a little bit and then go back into P-space and do it again while taking massive damage. It's just so insufferable. It's just like I don't want to insult the developers, but it's like I know what they did. They nerfed phase frigates, right? But by nerfing the phase frigates, they just completely fucked anything larger than a phase frigate. Harbingers, you give this to the AI, you are throwing this ship away. Dooms, don't even waste your time. Like, they will toss out a mine and then like wait 30 minutes and then toss out another mine, and like 5 hours later they'll toss out another one. Like, oh, here's a mine. And then, even better, these dumbasses will fly right next to the mine, come out of space and take a bunch of damage. It's just like, what? Yeah, they are basically unusable. Like, why would you bother ever using these, ever giving these to the AI? The thing is, you can get around that to an extent. Like, if we look at the Doom, how we have it here,